So this is just a short video to explain how the content will be delivered this week in the lecture portion. So what I'm going to have you do, we're going to focus on hazards this week. So you have some information about the kind of basics of volcanoes, the different types, how their composition affects their eruptive style. We did talk a little bit about the hazards associated with each, but we're going to go into more into depth this week. So most of the information you're going to look at is going to be on the USGS Volcanic Hazards Program page. And so here are the links to the 3 different pages I want you to take a look at. There's a hazards, a monitoring, and a preparedness section. These are what the little tabs will look like once you go there. So when you jump over to the hazards section, it should look something like this here. And so off to the left, you can see that there's the list of hazards. So I just want you to go through and kind of read the different hazards. It's a couple paragraphs, not too bad. It is a lot of information overall when you go through all the things, but in general, it's just kind of giving you a description of what the main hazards are associated with those. So make sure you kind of click through these and kind of read through what's going on. Then you're going to look at some monitoring information, like how do we monitor volcanoes to know that they're going to erupt or might erupt. So you can see that there's the general headings tell you kind of what's going on, and they get a little more detail. So, you kind of run through here, you go through earthquakes, so they look for earthquakes to determine if things are going to erupt. You don't have to go through all these separate ones. Deformation, so change in elevation potentially. How the surface changes, sometimes things bulge and things like that. They check for gas and water. Underground water is what hydrology is telling us. Temperature changes they look at. And then we also look at more surface changes in this topographic changes here. So I'm going to look at the main headings for those. And then finally there's a little preparedness page that tells you basically what to do when you either are in an eruption or you're potentially near a volcano that might erupt in the future. So there is a PowerPoint on the main page. If we go back here, you can see there's a PowerPoint down here. But the PowerPoint mostly is just going to be, if you go to the top page here, there's just, this link is just going to take you to that hazards page. There's some other images here and some quick summaries. But like I said, most of the information that I want you to understand is going to be from the USGS page. So this is just kind of a quick review, where to go and things like that. So it summarizes some of the things here. So you could take a quick look through here, some images for you and things like that. But mostly we're going to go there. And then let's see, finally, let's go back to here. So then I threw in a few videos just to give you some ideas of what some of the hazards look like. So there's some pyroclastic flows, lahars, which are volcanic mud flows, some lava flows themselves, what their hazards are, some ashfall. So you can take a look at those just so you get an idea of what they are. And then, of course, you're going to have an article to look at like normal, and then a video that also summarizes the hazards. So, and then, so that's how you're going to work through the lecture material. The lab this week, to finally take it easy on you, there's just a video that I'm going to have you watch. It's going to be for the entire lab. So no Google Earth and no other crazy mathematical calculations this week. So give you a little break. It's actually a really good video made by the History Channel. And it goes over Krakatoa, which is an example of a stratovolcano that erupted. And so I'll have you watch that and just answer some questions for the lab. So the lab should be a little easier this week. Okay, so hopefully that helps.